that I would come here to kill you and be unprepared.
Then the lightning and thunder intensify even more.
They started the
The
lightning and thunder were paid actors 1,000% right here, bro. What is good, y'all? Today we got a new video from Kage the Don. And if you don't know who he is, bro, expect some fire commentary, some funny jokes, good references. I mean, he got Kage in his name. But today he's talking about them two brothers with the red eyes who love and hate each other. If y'all don't know who I'm talking about, Sasuke and Itachi. Today's video is when Itachi almost beat the plot armor out of Sasuke, but got nerfed by ninja aids. And bro, that has got to be one of the worst things that happened in all of Naruto, bro. Imagine how strong this man could have been if it wasn't for illness that they never really even described, like what was going on. This man, like, did he get coughed on by Arthur Morgan? Rest in peace to Arthur Morgan. I don't know. But if y'all enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit them with the goodness, all right? Like, comment, subscribe, share. Lock that in by hitting the bell. That is the goodness. You can charge that thing up and make it extra impactful by using that YouTube hype feature. Hit them with it. And, you know, if y'all enjoy my reaction, hit your boy with it as well. Let's get to it.
Okay, so boom! The scene kicks off with Sasuke pulling up to the Uchiha hideout, ready to finally get
the whole gang stay here. I'm running the ISO.
His big bro Itachi. That man has his Sharingan out while walking towards the battle with immense determination and confidence. Look at the head movement. That is a stride of conviction. And trust me, I know. This is exactly how I walked for a week straight after watching 50 Cent's Get Rich or Die Trying. Had me ready to fight prime Mike Tyson before I clocked into a cushy shift of greeting customers and stacking apples. After walking for a bit long,
bruh, hey, I ain't gonna lie, same thing, but I had to walk into a warehouse. Bruh, this man walking like he ready to catch a body. He ain't even gotta, he had to get the motion of tying a headband on by putting some head wraps, bro. He had to do something to to get the real Sasuke look.
That boy finally gets within sight of Itachi, and right off the muscle, the aura farming has commenced. Look at how this man is posted up. Legs crossed, nails done, and we cannot forget the one arm out the sleeve just for the fashion, all while sitting in the sacred chair of his own clan that he slaughtered. I already know Sasuke's blood is boiling. He's not here for no wrong talk. He better not ask no foolishness. He knows what I'm here for. You know what I'm here for. Get out them goddamn drop! But to make Sasuke even harder, Itachi proceeds to ask him, what can he see with those eyes? So instead of giving him a proper answer, he gives him
you dead at my feet, right?
One by saying,
what I'm seeing right now is you dead at my feet.
Yup. Hey, boy.
Check his temperature right quick. He may be your big brother, but you gotta make him your son today. Itachi, intrigued with that response.
I ain't gonna lie. Hold on.
Is you dead at my feet?
He delivered that like Trey Young. I don't care, bro. Or Trey Young delivered like Sasuke, bro. With the Pat Bev thing. Come on, they on the same timing.
Check his temperature right quick. He may be your big brother, but you gotta make him your son today. Itachi, intrigued with that response, damn near teleports behind Sasuke, then tells him to make it happen. And that was the only green light he needed. And so the fight begins.
Yes,
Itachi tries to draw blood first by redirecting his kunai to Sasuke's eyes, but Sasuke quickly whips out his katana and barely blocks his kunai. Itachi then grabs his arm, pulls him in closer, and tries to kick the ribs out of his body, so Sasuke blocks it with his sword. But this menace Itachi decides to defy gravity and manages to hang in the air, then use his other foot to give him this concussion-causing hit.
Whoa!
His other foot to give him this
what was this?
Concussion causing.
What was the reason? Hold on. I'm more intrigued on what happened there. Y'all, do we need to do top 10 or top 50 wildest political moments or something like that? Do I just need to find one of those videos? Because I've seen too many of these in the 3 years that I've been reacting, bro.
to the dome. Yeah, I know that knot is gonna grow real big and strong. That shit's about to have its own heartbeat. And look,
I seen a girl with one of those one
that
time.
boy playing limbo. Sasuke tries to counter with this soft-ass sword swing, but Itachi, still suspended in the air, dodges that attack, then flips over to his backside, grabs his cape, spins him around, then spikes him into the ground like he just caught the game-winning.
You still, little bro. You still, little bro.
He throws his sword into the ceiling, then begins to boot up his Chidori. But Itachi remembers that weak-ass attack from last time, so the nigga doesn't even blink, and that visibly had Sasuke vexed. So he starts to sprint towards him, but instead of trying to punch it through his chest, he stops mid-sprint and hits him with a Chidori stream. So Itachi instinctively jumps out the way to avoid it, but little did he know that was
already
exactly
up there.
what Sasuke wanted, because as soon as Itachi got close to that ceiling, he sees Sasuke posted up on the ceiling with his sword in his hand, and before he could figure out his next play, Sasuke hit this "we got him" ass smirk, then proceeds to shish kebab this man to the ground. Okay, nigga,
Really going for blood.
I am far from a Sasuke fan, but there is nothing better than a sweet get back. But that tiny ounce of proudness that I felt for this boy quickly disappeared when this nincompoop said,
I have one final thing to ask of you.
I beg your pardon? Final? Oh nah, he can't be in his right mind. He gotta be in his left. I know you didn't think this little dinky katana was gonna take
easy.
out Uchiha's best prospect ever. This is just the start, nigga. Have you lost your mind? That CTE must be kicking in hard. Itachi probably holding back a couple laughs, and this boy thinking he could finish him off with that simple ass stab doesn't even let him bask in the short list.
I ain't gonna lie, we would have had to storm up to Shonen Jump, caught a plane ticket, bro. I was a kid or a teenager at the time when I think this happened. And I'm talking about in the manga. Not even, I read the manga of this first. But if that fight ended right here in the manga, I'm pulling up on Kishimoto myself, bro. What you doing, big bro? Nah, erase all that shit and write it again. Cause this is now Naruto Shippuden Brotherhood. You about to write it correctly, bro. Gun to your head. Give me 5 chapters with Sasuke and Itachi really fighting. Fuck you mean?
Victory, because to Sasuke's astonishment, Itachi slowly lifts his hand towards Sasuke's face while shaking like he got Parkinson's, then abruptly stops the shaking and flicks that wrist to the left. And that is when we see this man still sitting in the chair in the same position he was in when Sasuke first pulled up. This nigga's been in a genjutsu the whole time. See, this is why I could not fight this man. He'd have you thinking you've been beating the dog shit out of him the whole time. But lo and behold, you've been stabbing up your granny for the last 15 minutes.
Pretty much.
Congratulations. You played yourself. I just have to squash the beef because he's clearly not one to play with. Sasuke then watches.
Like that, understand, that's like fighting somebody, bro. And when you pull up on him to say it, he got friends around him. He's holding a beer, but he don't tell them, hold my beer. And he just started boxing with you. And he's sticking with you. He might not be beating you, but at the same time, he still got the beer in his hand. At that point, you got it. I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch.
Itachi's clone disperse into clones.
If he can stick with you with one hand,
he doesn't seem very surprised. He instead calmly gets up, looks at Itachi, then says,
Let me try this again.
Hold on though, not the double fake out. Sasuke did not come to play around. Now Sasuke is crouched down behind Itachi with a lightning-infused blade bulging right through Itachi's chest. He soon starts questioning Itachi on the third Uchiha with the Mangekyo Sharingan he spoke about the day he gutted his family, and with a little resistance, Itachi tells Sasuke that the ninja besides him and Itachi to possess those eyes is none other than Madara Uchiha. Sasuke then gets flashbacks to when the Nine-Tails was explaining who Madara was before he rudely interrupted him, and now he's shaking and wondering how that's even possible. So Itachi lets him know that everything is not always as it seems, word to Alex Russo, then starts explaining how the majority of his conclusions are really assumptions, but the truth can be quite the opposite. An ancient dead nigga is really alive. Your loving, thoughtful brother is actually a sadistic, murderous monster. This gorgeous woman right here is actually a man. Life is sometimes just one big illusion. But Sasuke is tired of the illusion. Man, life is
I ain't gonna lie, I hate these, bro. You know what it is, bro? Like, is it cake? I hate those, bro. The little video where it be like, they'll show you a burger and you be like, nah, that's for sure a burger, bro. And I'm kind of hungry. And then it's cake. And then for that, like in that moment, you hate cake so much.
Sometimes just one
I'm
big
fat.
illusion. But Sasuke is tired of the illusions and all his other trickery. So he boots up a lightning blade, turns around, and stabs it into the other direction. But oddly enough, the blade still manages to hit the chair Itachi's sitting in. The cameraman definitely knew I'm a little mentally challenged, so he gives us a bird's eye view for clarification. And that is when we see Itachi sitting on another chair right in front of him. But is this another genjutsu? What is going on? Watching these first
he make you question your reality, bro.
Confused. This is exactly how I feel now with the rise of AI videos. I seen a clip of Rick Ross's ginormous self-exercising the other day. I still don't know if it's real or fake. Itachi then starts to talk.
Nah, bro. If you want to see either, I don't know if they're bots or if they're real people or they're real people that are bots. But go on Twitter, bro, and go under any, like, for me, I can blatantly tell that it's AI. But go under, like, if you can tell AI women, go under AI women's pictures. And go to their comments. So many thirsty men, bro. So many. Like, yeah, I know she got them things sitting up there, but them things ain't real. She's not a person. But these folks be over here talking about drinking bath water, all this face see, all that, bro. And I'm just like, this is not a real person. Have you? And then, like, I be thinking somebody would put two and two together, because when you go to the like other photos, she be looking too different from herself in each photo. Like, real women got consistency with stuff. Even if a real woman lost a lot of weight, you still can tell it's her. If she got them things removed or enlarged, you can still tell it's her. But y'all thirsty motherfuckers, y'all really is thinking with y'all dick, and y'all getting brainwashed by computers, bro. And fuck AI a little bit.
Some junk asking him why he would even dare step to
I'm like 50-50 with it.
Said to come back when he had the same eyes as him. And if we take a closer look, homeboy did not meet the requirements. This nigga should have been thrown out the club. But Sasuke quickly snaps back, saying that he doesn't need those eyes to kill him. But that, my friend, is simply not true.
Right.
Itachi then begins to walk towards him while schooling him on the Mangekyo Sharingan's abilities, stating that the more they're used, the faster you get turned into Stevie Wonder. And that is when we get to see Itachi's POV, and my lordy is this man blind. I thought he was walking closer to be intimidating. Whole time the nigga's just trying to get a better look. Sasuke now
let me see my little brother
Itachi
face
on the Mangekyo Sharingan and its legendary wielder. So that's when Itachi says,
"Let me tell you a little about the past."
Brother, keep it. I know what's coming. I
Right.
consider myself a seasoned Naruto viewer, so at this point I knew that "let me tell you about the past" is really just code for multiple filler episodes incoming. Ninjas will be mid-fight, then start talking about "I never fit in as a kid." Now we getting flashbacks from the 1900s, but we don't care. Thankfully,
Honestly,
we didn't get 9 back-to-back filler episodes after this. But boy, was that man running his mouth like
exposition
a
out the ass.
threatened with any amount of jail time. Just yappa. Whole room smell like the back of Uchiha throats. To summarize what was said,
Could y'all imagine? I feel like this is a version of imprisonment, right? Hear me out. You're in jail. You get to watch anime, but it's only exposition from like the most boring characters possible. And I'm not saying Itachi is boring, but I'm just saying, there are some characters who they be giving exposition on their backstories and we don't care. They try to make them matter to us and they don't. But imagine going to jail and that's all you hear is just the exposition. And like, or just exposition in general. Like, imagine just all of the JJK, all of Naruto, all of Bleach, all of any anime's exposition. No action, no plot, no nothing. Just exposition. I would go insane.
The main message Itachi was trying to drive home was that he will be the one to grasp the Uchiha's true greatness, and he will need Sasuke's eyes to do so. Talking about some Sasuke!
You are the one who will become my new life!
Oh, you can't fight this man as he's lost his mind. This nigga's been nonchalant.
We never seen him smile until then.
Oh, no, I'm not hearing it. Somebody else sub in, and sir, you have a blessed day. But fortunately for all of us who've been feeding for this fight, Sasuke stupidly decides to stand his ground and starts unwrapping his head and wrist wraps, then tosses off his robe. So Itachi gives him one last warning while putting his hand back in his sleeve, showing him that he means business this time. But Sasuke doesn't give 1, 2, or 3 shits about that Mangekyo Sharingan. So he commences the next stage of the fight by pulling out 2 shurikens and launching them at Big Bro. So Itachi launches 2 at his 2 to deflect them. Then the 2 just start chucking an endless amount of shurikens at each other for what felt like forever. Like they were really beaming them Johns with max intensity. You would have thought they were fighting for an MLB contract. Rotator cuffs just screaming right now. No, really listen to the amount of metal in the air right now. Over here sounding like a broke nigga losing his whole inventory. Just a bunch of metal clapping together. The madness finally comes to a pause when the 2 of them collide in the middle, both blocking the other one's attack. And now they're going Sharingan for Sharingan, while also gripping the out of each other's wrists. Listen to this. That's that gorilla grip right there. They both about to tear a limb off. The stalemate does eventually come to an abrupt end when the clone Itachi somehow managed to create during this chaos jumps up and yeets 3 kunais at Sasuke. So he decides to block his attack by pushing out one of Maru's snakes out the side of his neck to wrap around it. The snake tries to bite Itachi's arm off, so Itachi jumps back. Then Sasuke whips his sword right at Itachi. Itachi blocks it with ease, but he wasn't aware that Sasuke ran a Chidori through it. So that rotating sword eventually took his arm clean off, forcing the clone to disappear. The crows from the clone managed to briefly
that's
Sasuke,
the demon with shuriken.
Itachi teleports right in his face, then kicks Sasuke in the gut, sending him crashing into a wall. And there he go again, freaking up the concrete. That back will never know peace. I know he's been having back spasms since that last encounter, stunning that nigga's growth with just that kick alone. Before Sasuke could
and his fight with Naruto, that back got messed up there too.
Cook up another attack. Itachi rushed over to him, grabbed his wrist, disrespectfully stomped on the chanclas, punched his stomach into his ass, then had that man pinned up with one arm like a little kid. This man Itachi is doing him in the worst way, and I couldn't do nothing but smile. There is nothing better than a nice slice of humble pie, cause it's time you realize that you are not that guy. Now Itachi slowly reaching for Sasuke's eyes, ready to yoink those eyes out of their sockets. Had this eye bulging out of his skull like we asked him to name 5 BDG songs or die. This is tragic. Unfortunately, Sasuke, along with the rest of the population, won't be able to recall more than 2. So that menace Itachi pulled that trigger.
That's right out.
Now Sasuke's crying out, gripping that eye while Itachi just talks smack in his ear. He then tells him that he's coming for that second one next, but Sasuke refuses to give up that easily. So he activates his Cursemark and pushes out that nasty, ashy, demonic looking wing that I despise.
That shit is
so
ashy as hell.
Forces Itachi off of it. Itachi then whips out his storage container to put Sasuke's eye in.
I ain't gonna lie. Well, I wish they would have never made it yellow, bro, because it looked like this man just carrying around a vial of piss.
But while doing so, this man stealthily baby boy headlocks this man Sasuke, and now the other Itachi is walking him down, ready to take the other one. But all of a sudden, Sasuke's Cursemark swarms his eye. Then 2 giant snakes shoot through the back of Itachi's clone, and soon the color begins to get sucked out of the frame. Then finally, the frame begins to splice up faster and faster until the whole reality is distorted and wiped away. Ooh, this junk was heat, I cannot lie.
Yeah.
Damn near started tutting to this. This was very Matrix-esque. Now, although the genjutsu has been released, Sasuke is still clutching his eye, so I assume
had to make sure it was sealed up.
An eye patch. But when he lifted his hand to uncover his eye, we see that his Sharingan is still intact. And to make things even more confusing, Itachi is now on his knees clutching his eye. Now, I know the Sasuke meat riders were flexing on every Itachi fan within their radius, piece. But whether you're a fan of Sasuke or not, you and I both know that was plot armor at its finest.
Yeah.
That Kyle Kuzma ass Kool-Aid with no sugar added ass Sharingan. There is no way this should have been able to.
Hey, bro, how would y'all feel if y'all look at a report and your favorite team traded y'all the number 1 and number 2 option for Kyle Kuzma and Ben Simmons? I just want to know how y'all would feel, bro.
Break through Itachi.
I think I would throw something through the window.
And listen to this weak ass explanation by Black Zetsu, who's been watching the whole time.
But the ordinary Sharingan is still a weapon, and a weapon can either be strong or weak depending on the ability of the person who is wielding it. Someone with shuriken might be taken down by a mere pebble if it's thrown by a master.
Nigga.
That's what people do when they bullshit. They be trying to make them sound smart. He said that so much, and it's like you really just said a whole bunch of bullshit.
No, I'm not buying this. Cause what happens when the nigga with the shuriken is also a master, huh? Explain that.
Well done, if you just look at how Sasuke was able to...
You don't have the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
You just kept your ass
You
quiet.
ain't got the answers. You ain't got the...
Itachi then gets back on his feet, and now the two of them are having yet another stare down. Itachi eventually comes to the conclusion that genjutsu won't be enough to take him out, so instead he resorts to his ferocious ninjutsu and quickly starts weaving signs. But Sasuke refuses to let him get that Amaterasu off, so he whips out this giant shuriken and throws it right at Itachi. The giant shuriken
Demon Wind Shuriken.
Two, so Itachi
Windmill of
dodges
Shadows
it by jumping in between both of them. But that man Sasuke outsmarted him yet again by rigging the two shurikens. So right after watching Sasuke yank those threads, Itachi looked back at it to see what fate awaited his cheeks. And unfortunately for him, it was a giant piece of the shuriken blade that inevitably pierced his thigh. Black Zetsu, still watching from above, decides to add his 2 cents in, saying that Prime Itachi would have easily dodged that, so something must be off. And that is when we get a much closer look at Itachi's physical state. And it is very clear that them ninja aids is in high gear. He over here sweating and shaking like he just had a hot chip, while also seeing triples and doubles no way.
That man going blind and he got AIDS.
That he has Itachi on the ropes right now, meaning it's the perfect time to go for the knockout. So with zero hesitation.
The sad part about it is because of Itachi's condition, this win is always going to be Mickey for Sasuke, bro. Like, you can never give him this. Honestly, Sasuke done fell kind of in that boat with Vegeta.
He claps his hands together to boot up a fireball jutsu. So Itachi with his crippled leg laggingly jumps out the way, but Sasuke is still on that ass like white on rice. So he damn near boots up his Chidori at the same time he left the ground, then attempts to Chidori the AIDS patient through the roof. Itachi somehow emerges from the smoke still intact, then swiftly boots up a giant fireball jutsu to turn him into ashes. But sadly for Itachi, Orochimaru's hacks were in full effect because those devilishly ashy wings came to his protection. After staring at each other once again, they both begin to take a deep breath in.
A whole tenth of this battle is just a stare down.
Activate their fireball jutsu, and now they're both battling it out to see who has the hottest breath. They both would.
I knew it. I was just thinking, damn, both of them got some hot ass breath doing this, bro. What if that's what the fire style jutsu was in the real world? Just two people with like hot ass breath.
Comps though, I'm telling you that stench is unmatched. Could burn a hole through steel with them biohazardous fumes. Listen, no, cut the music. If you're watching this, go get that shit checked. You need help. Toothpaste, mints, Listerines, nigga, something. The battle of the breaths carry on for a little bit longer. But Itachi must have had some sardines before coming here, because he edges out Sasuke by booting up those devilish Amaterasu flames, turning Sasuke's into nothing but smoke and air. See, now who said you can't fight fire with fire? So Sasuke, somewhat freaked out by the flames, finally does what I tell every ninja in a lopsided battle to do, and beelines it out of there. But Itachi refuses to let that little runt escape, so he forces that bloody eye open and starts
he upped it again
with them Amaterasu flames. But at what cost though? Look how strained his eye is. All type of lines and shapes around that iris. Mosaic art ass eyeball. It's about to fall out. But nonetheless, Itachi Itachi, like a
That shit gotta hurt like hell.
determined to burn some shit down. So after damn near lighting up all the trees surrounding the hideout, Itachi finally gets a hold of him and fries him up like that overcooked crumb in your air fryer. When I seen them black flames catch his wing, I started jumping for joy like I won the lottery. Been hating them wings since the dawn of its conception. Hate's not even a strong enough word for the feelings I have for those.
I mess
like,
with it, bro.
Orochimaru cook. Kick that nigga out the kitchen, please. Itachi, now.
Bro, I remember, like, it's crazy to hear that people hate those wings. Cause I remember being in elementary school, bro, and people telling me, yo, Sasuke got wings now. What? How he get wings, bro? He got wings and they hands, bro. Shut your stupid ass up, telling me. I really did not believe him. And then I got issue 24 or 25. I used to have the whole thing. I got to get my Naruto collection back. I had the whole thing going into Shippuden. But yeah, that I got issue 25 came out or 4, and I was just like, they weren't lying.
Now out of breath, breathing heavy like a dog, eventually decides to walk over to Sasuke to collect his new eyes. But when he bends down to collect them, Sasuke suddenly begins to deflate. And that's when we see Sasuke smugly looking up at him through a giant crack in the roof. It turns out, while Sasuke was on fire, up at him through
I ain't gonna lie, hold on.
to deflate. And that's when we see Sasuke smugly.
I'm pretty sure this shot right here inspired so many little anime girls fan fictions. Cause I heard a few. They be having, boy, like you think we like, or like dudes be gooners? No. Them gooner girls, bro, they
looking up at him through a giant crack in the roof. It turns out, while Sasuke was on fire, he stealthily cut a hole through the roof, then slithered through the crack, leaving his shredded skin to burn. There go Orochimaru with them nasty ass hacks. Look how he slithered through that shit with all that mystery juice on him. No, I'm out.
I don't. You think I'm about to? I'm not watching.
Sasuke then proceeds to transform further into his Cursemark form, while Itachi's up there fighting for
the Cursemark form without the wings is really hard too. The long hair, what?
Medicine. But what you can take are these fire dragon balls to the throat. This man Sasuke didn't even
oh, what's all of that?
Hesitate before sending a bunch of dragon-shaped flames right at Itachi. Siki did somehow manage to dodge them though, and now they're just glaring at each other through the giant hole in the roof. Sasuke, of course, fixes his mouth to say something smart, talking about something.
That Amaterasu of yours. It seems to have taken quite a lot out of you.
But then this nigga instantly collapses to the ground, sweating like he just ran a 10K. Brother, you're clearly exhausted too. It be the people doing just as bad as you, if not worse, to comment on your situation. Damn, your Honda's cool, I guess, but you should have got an M5. That's a real man's car. Brother, your left.
Boy, what? I saw a TikTok dude was like, yeah, I got a RT. He's like, damn, bro, you should have got the, what is it, the Hemi. Dude gets the Hemi. Oh, bro, you should have got a scat pack, bro. He gets a scat pack, but, you know, a scat pack cool, but it ain't a Hellcat. Gets a Hellcat. Yeah, that's a nice Hellcat, but, like, what a red eye. Gets the red eye. Oh, man, that ain't a demon, though. The demon was really against the demon, but it ain't the demon 170. Whole time, this man ain't got a car in the first place. Hate people like that, bro. Like, let people be happy with what they got.
Shoe has 3 holes in it, and you know every bus driver in the city on a first name basis. You don't want to go there with me. Itachi's not letting none of that fake cocky shit slide though, so he checks him and tells him that he can see he's on his last legs too. I got a Sharingan, dummy. You thought you could hide your levels from me? But fortunately for the Sasuke meat munchers, he clearly had one more trick up his sleeve, because his confidence is still unwavered. And on top of that, rain starts pouring out of nowhere, and lightning and thunder begin to clap in the skies above them. Now this boy is talking about something.
Do you really believe that I would come here to kill you and be unprepared.
Then the lightning and thunder intensify even more.
They started the
What is
lightning and thunder were paid actors 1000% right here, bro.
going on? Did this nigga recruit Thor for backup? I wouldn't put it past him, but he would clearly do anything for the win. But instead of receiving a monumental Marvel x Naruto collab, this man Sasuke actually used the fireballs from earlier to commence this attack. Black Zetsu then starts putting his master in
Eating up the
science to work
atmosphere.
and starts explaining the jutsu, talking about some.
He shot his fire-style jutsu into the sky to cause the ambient temperature of the atmosphere to rise rapidly and create an ascending air current to form a cumulonimbus. In other words, to create a...
Oh, shut up, nigga.
Yeah, he chatting, but shout out to him though, cause I know good and well 95% of you had no idea what was going on, and the other 5%
Nobody
of you
took
are just
environmental
flat out
science
liars. You not
seriously.
about to sit here and tell me you knew that was a Christopher Columbus? He was
A
like,
cumulonimbus. Actually, that's really what he actually said.
brother, they got the point. I hate me an autocorrect ass. Sasuke then begins to harvest the power of the lightning and flips his way up to the top. He even manages to intensify the jutsu even more by using the heat from Itachi's Amaterasu. And now a giant lightning dragon is peeking through the clouds ready to wreak havoc. So Sasuke gives the dragon a signal and says,
Now be gone with the thunderclap.
then Sasuke proceeds to thunderclap the life force out of Itachi while completely decimating the terrain around him. With the hideout looking like it never existed in the first place, it would be very reasonable to think that Itachi is no more. After all, look at him, just over there slumped and discombobulated, rolled nowhere to be found, left arm making a 90-degree angle, right shoulder looking completely dislocated. This is how my action figures used to look as a kid. Limbs just twisted up, bottom of the toy box ass nigga. What a tragic end.
Damn.
Rightfully so. Sasuke.
Hey, bro, that's the second time I've seen somebody with special eyes get roasted. Last one was Neji. If y'all ain't seen Barack Obese new video, what are you doing?
Retracts his Sharingan and rejoices in his victory, but like a lingering demon
We did
refusing
it.
to be exercised, we hear.
Is this the death you had imagined for me then?
And that's when our eyes are met with the sight of Itachi slowly rising to his feet while also booting up his Susanoo. This man is built different. Eyesight slowly fading. Ninja aids tearing up his cells with every passing minute. And he still managed to endure Sasuke's strongest attack. Now Itachi's Susanoo is fully formed, glaring down at Sasuke while he hopelessly wrestles with the fact that there's nothing more he can do. That was until Sasuke hears a very familiar and unsettling voice tempting him to take his help.
I can give it to you. I can lend
Diddy Maru's back.
Then this man's shoulder starts twerking and a bunch of snakes come rushing out of Sasuke's body while he cries out in agony. Now 8 giant snakes are slithering towards Itachi, but Itachi's not phased at all. He is slicing and dicing these snakes like he's a sushi chef. The last remaining snake though wisely decides to not lunge at Itachi and instead opens his mouth to allow a slimy butt booty naked Orochimaru to slither out its mouth. But the freak off did not stop there. Orochimaru then opens his mouth and starts pushing out this long ass 24-inch sword. This
Look, for every time he ever does this in the show, we just gotta say pause. Why you got a sword down your throat?
junk even got white and black Zetsu looking disgusted. Something is seriously wrong with this creature. Like, what am I watching right now? Is this throat on throat Inception? You are a freaky ass nigga. Itachi was definitely not with that freaky stuff because this man completes the fastest 1v1 in Naruto history. He one-taps Orochimaru with his Totsuka blade, which quickly absorbed that demon, sucking him up like a bounty paper towel, leaving little old Sasuke with no more hacks to take him on. So Itachi sets his sights back on Sasuke, who is now so depleted that he can't even activate his Sharingan anymore. After catching his breath, he then tells Sasuke that his eyes are his and that he'll take his time retrieving them. But then out of nowhere, that man clutches his chest and starts coughing up blood. That cancer is clearly in stage 6, so Sasuke tries to attack him while he still has a chance by chucking a bunch of kunais with bombs attached to them. But
he was just throwing anything at that point. He was desperate.
In this state, his Susanoo is still impenetrable, so Itachi continues to drunkenly sway towards him while Sasuke inches back in fear, still trying his luck with these useless attacks. But between the Susanoo, that Totsuka blade, and that shield, he is literally invincible. But Sasuke, being the stubborn brat he is, refuses to accept his fate and pulls out his sword to give it one more shot. So he double hand cocks it back like D-Rose and tries to stab Itachi, but that shield
that shit don't work.
Bouncing across the ground. Really analyze this tumble. No matter how I pause this, there is a glaring injury with every bounce. Lower lumbar, T4 fracture, stage 7 concussion, right shoulder dislocation. That boy is as good as gone.
Yeah,
even after
he
that
out of the fight.
Tumble, Itachi is still walking Sasuke down.
He off that good cushion alcohol.
There is nothing left for that man to do.
Been praying on his brother downfall.
But he is not doing it with the dignity and honor he should have. I know you lost the battle, but chin up. Fuck that, nigga. If you gotta go eyeless for the rest of your life, what he do? And if he ends up chopping you up like he did your parents, what he do? At least you're with them again. You gotta think of the glass half full. Sasuke's not trying to hear any of that though, because Itachi has finally gotten within arm's reach of his little brother and extends his torn up bloody hand to his face while Sasuke just watches in shock. But if what he was seeing wasn't enough to stun him, the words Itachi muttered in his ears definitely did the trick. Clear my browser history. And just
like
you
know, he be looking at some of the wildest stuff.
He despised for so long. The one that pushed him towards becoming so powerful.
That boy Itachi browser history got BBW, midget, and horse. I don't know what he was looking at, but he had those 3 words. They were highlighted.
One that gave him purpose.
Headbutted that wall hard as shit.
Is no more. And in a very poetic fashion, Sasuke collapses beside him, both staring into the clouds right next to the only
Itachi was not staring into anything.
Just so happened to have the iconic
he was already gone
band stamped right in the middle, thus marking the end to this monumental sibling brawl. Overall, a peak way to start the end of Sasuke's.
Both should get an ARS at least.
The tension, the determination, the bloodlust.
Oh, boy!
I personally could have done with a little bit more fisticuffs action, but after all, this is the genjutsu master we're talking about, so I'm thankful there was any to begin with. Sasuke gets an A-. He definitely had a lot of praiseworthy moments and blows in this fight that were low-key slept on. But if you think I'm giving him any credit for Itachi's death, you must be out of your mind.
Nah, if he would've
died, then
if he did this, if this was the outcome in the end and Itachi was fully healthy, it's an S. But otherwise, nah. That's valid.
Death, you must be out of your mind. I'd rather die than give that man this win. Sasuke already has too many Mickey wins under his belt, and I'm prepared to fight you and your mother if you think this was a win for Sasuke. Orochimaru gets an F for fuck off. He is always ruining iconic moments. Itachi gets an A+. Some of you may think that rating is a little high, but I know for a fact, if he really wanted to, he could have packed that boy up like Crawford did to Canelo. He's just like me for real. Sometimes I like to play with my food. Sadly,
hell no, I kill if I gotta kill some shit, I'm killing some shit immediately.
That's one of the most iconic battles in all of Naruto.
Yeah. I think it's a top 10. What y'all think? Y'all think that this fight was a top 10? I think it's a top 10. Like, it's not quite, you know, Kakashi versus Obito, Naruto versus Sasuke. But I think that in the whole spectrum of things, it's a top 10 run. Maybe top maybe number 7. I want to put it at number 7 or number 6 because I feel like putting it in the top 5, I might be holding myself because this whole situation still exists. Wait, oh, because no, Guy versus Madara too. So this guy, so Naruto versus Sasuke, Obito versus Kakashi, Madara versus the allied Shinobi Force. And this is no. Guy versus Madara, Madara versus the allied Shinobi Force. Am I missing one? I feel like I'm missing a big one. Naruto versus Pain went harder than this. Yeah, so I think 6 or 7 is about the good spot. I think that is a good spot to, for it. This fight, bruh. I know this fight all too well because I used to make AMVs. I've done this fight. I've watched this fight time and time again. Like I could have did a breakdown for this exact fight too. I read it in the manga, and one of the cool things about it is they adapted this from the manga almost 1-to-1. If that made like it literally everything happened. Like JJK. That's a good example. That Maharaga versus Sukuna fight, not nearly as long in the manga, but they added so much, just to draw it out, get a little more action. In Naruto, as far as I can remember, yeah, they were like, interpret these panels. Don't do nothing more. Just interpret these panels, which is really dope. We got another banger video from Kage the Don, bro. And he right. Itachi lost to the plot. That's it. Because there was no way, bro. He should have did his little brother. Like, I've been watching Supernatural. If you ever watch Sam and Dean fight, it's Itachi and Sasuke. Because Dean is always on Sam's ass in fights. Same thing. There should have, honestly, the way they fight most of the time like season 2. So, season 3 to like 15, Sam could make a heavy comeback, but for right now, Sam be getting his ass whooped. Same thing should have happened to Sasuke. But look, I'm gonna wrap it up here. If y'all enjoyed this, make sure to hit Kage the Don with the goodness, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share. Lock that in by hitting the bell. That is the goodness. Hit them with it. And if y'all enjoyed my reaction, please do the same for your boy. This has been your boy Reggie Wolf. I am signing out. Peace.